Hello everybody, King Nelly Reviews here, and today we'll be getting into some My Hero Academia. Our main character Deku fought Lady Nagant in an intense fight that not only brought out the best qualities of his character, but also gave us a sneak peek into the truth behind the foundation of Hero Society. In this video, I'll be breaking down exactly what makes her backstory special and its importance to the overall story. If you end up enjoying the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All support is greatly appreciated. Now, what exactly makes Lady Nagant's story so special? Let's talk about it. Everybody get your fucking hands up. Before we get into Lady Nagant's backstory, let's talk about the context behind the situation first. Lady Nagant was hired by All For One to kill Deku in return for him giving her a quirk and breaking her out of prison. Deku and Lady Nagant started fighting during chapter 312, and eventually the backstory takes place in chapter 314. Chapter 314 starts off with Deku finally closing the distance between him and Lady Nagant using a cool combination of his quirks. He demands Lady Nagant to tell him everything she knows about All For One, but she uses a defensive maneuver to throw him off her and tells Deku that she isn't that easy to beat since the Safety Commission taught her everything she knows. Deku then asks her why she chooses to work for All For One since she used to be a proud hero, and Lady Nagant proceeds to set the tone for her backstory. She starts off by telling Deku that all you're seeing is that phony sense of order they've manufactured. No wonder people tinged by it can't understand the truth. This line holds weight because up till now, most heavy criticism of Hero Society we see in the series comes from villains who society has rejected. But this is the first time we see a top hero who willingly rejects society itself. She establishes herself as someone with a point of view that hardly any other character can share. What she has seen and done from her duties as a hero was repulsive enough for her to deny society and actively seek its revolution. This idea was further supported by her next lines. She says that I was exhausted after so much killing, and it was all to preserve this sham society. This alone is shocking, since heroes should avoid killing even villains if they can, yet she talks about doing it so often she was tired of it. And not only that, she said that all that murder was to preserve Hero Society, a society usually seen as one founded upon justice and righteousness, not blood and murder. She then gives examples of the classified missions the Safety Commission gave her to do. She was ordered to kill people that would shake the bedrock of society, which we later find out means pretty much anyone that would potentially hurt the image of heroes being perfect and righteous. Ones that worked with villains for fame and fortune, or ones plotting terrorism against other heroes. She had to kill them all since she was told that law and order wouldn't be enough. With all this in place, she then starts her backstory. Her backstory starts off with a little history of Hero Society. It says, once upon a time, vigilantes played the role of heroes and won the people's trust. In turn, the country made sure they kept doing their part. At the end of the day, trust in heroes is the foundation of superpowered society. This line is incredibly important, and it reveals the hidden nature behind Hero Society. Citizens put heroes on a pedestal as people that can do no wrong, and in return, heroes try to live up to that expectation and keep improving themselves as fighters that won't yield to evil and as people worth looking up to. Keep in mind, almost everybody in society has a quirk and is capable of being a hero under the right conditions. So what exactly separates a hero from your average normal citizen with a good quirk? In a society like the one we all live in, it's easy to see a hero as someone blessed by a higher power or someone of a higher existence than a normal person. But in a society like the one in My Hero Academia, superpowers don't make you special, they make you normal. This makes the line between a hero and a normal human being very thin, and therefore makes it very dangerous to try and force a huge separation between them. Instead of seeing heroes as normal people with superpowers who make human decisions based on their circumstances, they instead see heroes as people that cannot have bad intentions and are always upholding justice. Of course, this is simply untrue because humans don't work this way. You're always going to have two sides of the spectrum, even among people that call themselves heroes. But what if you remove all the bad apples from the group of heroes and leave only the ones prone to following the rules like a good citizen? Then would it be true that heroes are people on the positive side of the spectrum that would normally always do the right thing? Well, theoretically, yes. And this was Lady Nagant's job. She said in order to maintain that foundation of full trust in heroes, she was a cog set in place to keep that system running nice and smooth. She talks about the two sides of the system. She says it's a system with two sides to it, a front and a back, a system that needed both sides to maintain itself. So I obeyed, I complied, I did my duty. And while she was narrating about her role, we get to see the reactions of her victims. The main victim was the guy who said, "Wait, no, we haven't done anything yet. We only started talking about," and before he could finish, he was killed. This was important in showing how fragile the foundation of hero society was. The higher-ups were so frightened by these hoodlum heroes ruining the pure image of heroes that they ordered their death solely because they were just entertaining the idea of doing something wrong. They didn't even do it yet. Of course, some people might say it's better to take them out before they can do bad things, but that brings a huge morality question about heroes deciding for themselves whose life deserves to live and who deserves to die. The worst part is that their society isn't even doing this as a way to stop crime and promote peace, but they are instead killing these people solely to keep the trust in heroes and the foundation of their society intact. To them, keeping maximum trust in heroes is worth far more and takes priority over the lives of these smaller heroes who choose to do a bad thing. As her kill count of those heroes rises up, guilt seems to take over Lady Nagant. This is shown well in the next scene where a bunch of kids who happen to be big fans approach her and ask for a handshake. As she reaches to shake the hands of one of those innocent and pure children, all of the guilt from her work manifested as an image of her arm soaked with blood and gore. This is one of my favorite tropes ever, because it only works when the person truly feels disgusted by their actions and doesn't believe themselves worthy of touching innocent children, as they might taint them. Having that level of self-awareness and reflecting on oneself enough to have that reaction is something I always enjoy reading about. Since Lady Nagant is a hero, she is naturally hailed and praised as someone who holds up justice and righteousness, and therefore kids get inspired by that image of her and become great fans. This cycle usually benefits both parties, as heroes who see all these kids looking up to them due to how heroic and good their actions are, tend to keep trying to live up to those expectations and become people truly worthy of being an inspiration to those innocent children. Of course, this only works if what you're doing properly counts as heroic activity, but in Lady Nagant's case, it's very hard even for her to believe she's doing the right thing, and it has gotten so bad that she doesn't even believe she's worth being looked up to by those children. That scene serves to juxtapose what the children believe Lady Nagant to be and what she truly is, a hired killer and murderer the hero society needs to maintain itself. The backstory wraps up with the next scene, which shows Lady Nagant at her breaking point. She's completely exhausted from all the repulsive tasks she's forced to do, and finally, she starts to believe that society is a phony sham. She tries to get proper answers from the president of the Safety Commission, who just ordered her to kill these two heroes who incited civilians to do a crime and then hunting them down for a reward. Lady Nagant asks him if killing people like this would truly benefit hero society. She says that making people believe everything is puppies and rainbows, is that any better than brainwashing? The president counters by saying it's all necessary and someone has to preserve the hope and faith the heroes built up. But to Nagant, after the bloody and murderous process of preserving this so-called hope and faith in heroes, what happens next? The president couldn't properly respond and instead threatens her life. She then ends up killing him and thus ending the backstory. This scene was really good because it shows how far the pain and torment of her deeds has pushed Lady Nagant. She used to truly believe that killing all these people was beneficial and believed that the heroes behind the scenes were correct, but after realizing the true nature behind the system she once proudly protected, she decided to make a stand to get rid of it. We see many panels earlier with how much the president of the Safety Commission praised and showed affection to her, but even their history wasn't enough to stop her from killing him. She truly believed the action she was forced to do was too much, and the people and heroes behind it had to be stopped. From her line about puppies and rainbows, we can see that she's hinting towards changing the foundation of society into something more transparent and realistic, so the citizens know exactly what's going on and can decide for themselves what actions to take. We later see her tell Deku that if she has to pick between the two poisons of having a fake hero society that resorts to blood and murder behind the scenes to maintain itself, or all for one's vision of society, she'll choose his since at least it'll be more transparent. This backstory to me was very special because it not only established Lady Nagant as a character with a perspective never seen before in the series and gave us answers about the fragility of the hero society, but her experiences also helped highlight the growth of Deku's character. She reinforces her stance to Deku, saying that even if society is restored, as long as that heroes must always be perfect foundation is unshaken, history will repeat itself, with the public only seeing the good side and the dark side eats and destroys people like her. Deku responds saying that maybe I was ignorant, but I'm starting to see things clearly. It's not all black and white. Most things in this world are in shades of gray, a blend of fear and anger, which is exactly why I've got to extend a helping hand. This statement from Deku shows his growth from the Paranormal Liberation War arc, where he learned to not see the world so simply and understand that even people branded as villains has their own reasons for doing things. We've seen even before this fight that he has become far more open with talking and figuring out a common consensus before resorting to violence, and he also got extremely good at noticing slight flags that show if someone is doing things out of pure evil or if there's some hesitation or good involved in their decision making. However, actions always speak louder than words. No matter what you say, if your actions don't reflect your words, then your words don't matter. Lady Nagant proceeds to test Deku by shooting a high-speed bullet towards Overhaul, so when she already knows Deku has this huge contempt towards. But despite Deku's feelings about Overhaul, otherwise known as Chisaki, he still risks his body to instantly jump in and save the enemy without any hesitation, like it was the most natural thing to do. This is how you make your actions reflect your words. Lady Nagant recognizes this herself and is amazed at how little hesitation Deku needed to go and save his sworn enemy Chisaki. She even thinks to herself about those words Deku said earlier about lending a helping hand, and wondered when did hearing platitudes like those make her want to puke, as she remembers the many times the president of the Safety Commission had praised her in order to get her to do the dirty work to keep Hero Society going. After going through what she did with the Safety Commission, it's no wonder she thinks positive and heroic words feel very fake and empty. And Deku being the one to show her that there's still people like him out there who genuinely cares for all life, not just specific ones, really shows how much Deku has grown as not just a hero, but as a character. This point is emphasized even harder with the following scene. Deku grabs Lady Nagant before she's about to fall and tells her that the shot headed for Chisaki was off by a little bit. And if you were really allied with All For One and his brand of evil, your very first shot would have hit my lower body and stopped me cold. You have known some real darkness, so you gotta know there's a way to bring back the light. Please fight on our side. I can tell you've still got the soul of a hero. That speech is the culmination of everything Deku has learned and grown into from the Paranormal Liberation War arc. As I mentioned earlier, Deku saw the little signs that showed Lady Nagant to not truly be an evil mass murderer that just wants all her enemies dead. He also acknowledges that the unique perspective she has from her experiences will be needed to reform the Hero Society and bring back that true organic light back into the system. It was very easy in this situation to brand Lady Nagant as a villain who betrayed Hero Society and kill her for being on the wrong team, but Deku doesn't see the world so simply anymore. He looks deeper and tries to find a solution that can benefit both parties or his overall goal of restoring a proper Hero Society. Lady Nagant stares at Deku almost in a sense of relief that heroes like him are still out there in the world that she gave up on. She says, "Izuku Midoriya, you are the real deal," before she ends up getting blown up by All For One's quirk. That line was the icing on the cake to not only acknowledge Deku's growth, but it properly cements Deku as an ideal hero who someone like Lady Nagant can have faith in. Lady Nagant has many experiences with fake heroes and inorganic peace. She's someone who has seen the darkest side of how heroes operate and completely gave up on the idea that the way they do things is proper. Someone like that looked at Deku's actions and words and called him the real deal when it comes to being a hero. Horikoshi did a fantastic job of using Lady Nagant to highlight Deku's growth as a character, but also using her to reveal just how fragile the foundation of Hero Society we saw throughout the series really is. I really enjoyed this backstory, and I hope I shed some light on the main reasons why I believe it's so special. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment, and hit the subscribe button to help me out. Thank you for all your support, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.